Hello all, welcome to session 2 of Selenium 4 training series. In this session, I am going to explain and practically demonstrate Locator basics for Selenium automation. As mentioned in the previous session, before we start learning Selenium automation, there are few prerequisites we have to learn first. That is HTML basics, locators and core Java. In this session, I am going to explain and practically demonstrate one of the prerequisites that are required for learning Selenium automation, that is nothing but locators. So let's get started with this session. First of all, what exactly are these locators and how they help Selenium? Locators help Selenium in finding the UI elements on the web pages. Let me explain this practically. I'll take you to this application, tutorialsinja.com/demo application. You see, on this application web page, there are several UI elements. For example, this search box field is a UI element. Here, there is a button, which is a UI element. So there are some images here and there. Each and every image here that is shown on this page is a UI element. There are some links to the product pages. Each and every link is a UI element. There are a lot of options here, you see. For each and every product, there are different options. Here, each and every product option is a UI element. But the problem is Selenium is by default blind. It cannot see any of these UI elements that we can see on this web page. We as human beings can see all these UI elements on the web page, right? But Selenium cannot see any of these elements on the web pages. That's where we have to help Selenium in finding the elements by passing the locators to it. Okay, we have to provide these locators to the Selenium so that Selenium can locate or find the elements with the help of these locators. That's what are locators, guys. But there are different type of locators. There is no one locator, okay, that can help Selenium in finding the elements. But there are many locators. There are many locator types. What are the different type of locators that we can provide to Selenium? And with the help of these locators, Selenium can find the elements. What are those different locators? They are nothing but there are 6 locators, guys. First one is ID locator. Second one is the name locator. Third one is the class name locator. Fourth one is the link text. Fifth one is the CSS selector. Sixth one is the XPath expression. These are the different locators that we can provide to Selenium so that Selenium can find the required elements on the web pages. Okay, fine, guys. These are the different locators possible. So I'll explain, guys. I'll explain each and every locator type in a detailed and practical way in this session itself. So we'll go step by step. Okay, so but guys, in order to understand these locators, which will help Selenium in finding the elements, we need to have some HTML basic knowledge. Okay, to understand these locators, we should have some HTML basic knowledge. So let's get started with some HTML basics. Okay, so guys, first of all, what is HTML? Okay, let's start from there. What exactly is HTML? HTML stands for hypertext. Okay, H stands for hyper. In HTML, T stands for text. M in HTML stands for markup and L stands for language. Okay, hyper text markup language. So HTML stands for hypertext markup language. And what is the purpose of HTML? Why HTML is really used? So developers use HTML language for creating the web pages. Okay, for creating what? Web pages. So for example, if I take you to some sample web page, okay, very basic and sample web page, if I take you, or this web page, if you take, you see, so to create this kind of web page, the developer has to write the HTML code. Okay, if you right click and inspect here or say view page source here, you see, you will see a lot of HTML code here. You see this much of HTML code the developer has to write for creating this web page, right? So that's what is HTML, guys. Using HTML, developers can create the web pages. Now to get started, guys, okay, let's not go to the complex web pages. I'll take you to the very basic web page. Okay, from the compendiumdev.co.uk, there is a basic web page available. So we'll go here. Let's click on this link. So here we have the basic web page, and I am calling this as a very basic web page because you see what is there on this page, guys. On the on the tab of this browser, you see a title. Okay, this web page has a title, and apart from the title, it just has these 2 paragraphs, nothing much, right? If you go to this kind of applications which are very complex, there are a lot of things on this web page. But to get started, we'll go with this basic web page which just has 2 paragraphs and title on the page. Now let's understand what exactly is the HTML code that has been written, okay, by the developer to create this basic web page. Okay, let's get started there. So right click on this page and select this view page source, guys. You will get the HTML code of this page. You see the HTML code of this page got displayed here. This much of HTML code is enough for creating this basic web page. You see, for getting the title, there is a title tag here. Whatever you write in the title, right, that will be displayed on the title tag. Okay, and here there are two paragraphs, right, on the page. Two paragraphs. Okay, here they are written. So, but guys, let's learn this. Okay, let's create the same web page from scratch. Okay, let's create the same web page from scratch by ourselves. And this is a reference, guys. If you can clearly observe this HTML code, guys, for this particular basic web page, if you see the HTML code, the code is starting from HTML tag and ending with slash HTML. These are the markups, guys. Okay, this less than symbol and greater than symbol having some text are nothing but the markups. That's why HTML is called as hypertext markup language. And this is starting tag and this is the ending tag. Okay, so if it is starting here, somewhere it has to end. For example, HTML is starting here, which is a root tag. To create this web page, HTML is the root tag which is starting here and it is ending here. And under the HTML there are two children, guys. Okay, that is head and body. Okay, there are two children, that is head and body. So I'll explain all this stuff one by one. So let's go very slow, no problem. Okay, let's say there is a box, okay, or a room, and inside this room there is a person. Head is there, and this person has some body. Okay, like this, the person has a body. So with this I'll show you, by comparing this with HTML, I'll show you what is that. Okay, so this box where this person is enclosed is nothing but the HTML tag is starting here. Okay, the starting of the box, the HTML tag is starting here, and at the end of the box, HTML tag is ending slash HTML. Okay, like this is the entire box. Inside this HTML tags, what is there? A person is there, and this person has a head and body. Okay, this person has a head and body. You see, the head is starting here. So head is starting here, and where is the head ending? Head is ending here, right? At this location, the head is ending. And where is the body starting? Body is starting here, body is ending here. So this is the body starting, and here the body is ending slash body. Okay, slash body. Starting tag, ending tag, starting tag, ending tag, starting tag, ending tag. The ending tag has this forward slash extra. Okay, so starting tag will not have any forward slash. Okay, fine. Here, this is the structure of the HTML, guys. Okay, the structure of the HTML is like this. We have this root tag known as HTML. Under the root tag, we have two children tags, that is head and body tags. Okay, so head tag is a child tag of the HTML and body tag is the child tag of the HTML. So this is a kind of thing, guys. Okay, this is all about the HTML, guys. Okay, so if I have to create a hierarchy of the parent and child, HTML will be on the top, and HTML will contain two children, right? HTML will contain two children here. First child is nothing but the head, and other child is nothing but the body, like this. Okay, these are the two children of the HTML. Again, guys, if you see under the body there are two paragraphs, right? Inside the body there are two paragraphs. So that means here there is one paragraph, paragraph 1 and paragraph 2 are there, like that. Okay, so here this body has two paragraphs. This is one paragraph and this is another paragraph. Fine, two paragraphs are there, right? So I have these two paragraphs are the children of the body tag. Okay, so here we have to write first paragraph tag and it's ending somewhere here, and second paragraph is there in enter the body tag, and it's ending here. Okay, it's starting here and ending here. Okay, some text that need to be displayed as part of the paragraph will be written here. Okay, text, paragraph text, like this. Fine. Now, and if you clearly observe, guys, inside the head tag also there is one tag is there, right? Child tag is there, that is nothing but the title. Okay, here we have title. In the head tag we have the title. So head tag has only one child tag, that is nothing but the what, guys? Title tag is there. Okay, title, that's it. Hope, guys, you got the hierarchy of HTML and you understood the structure of the HTML. And one more thing, guys, one more thing you have to understand here is, so here title tag doesn't have any attributes, right? Does the title tag have any attributes here? No, right? Inside the title tag nothing is there, just less than, greater than, and in between the name of the tag, that is title. Okay, these are all predefined tags, guys. HTML is a predefined tag, head is a predefined tag. It's not user defined tags. Okay, title is a predefined tag. When you put something inside the title on the web page, title will be displayed. So they are predefined. And body is a predefined tag. Inside the body, paragraphs are the predefined tags. But if you see, if you compare HTML head, title, body with this paragraph tag, there's something different, guys. In the starting tag, this is a starting paragraph tag of this HTML page. You see, there are few more things. There are two items here. Inside the starting tag of the paragraph, here there are two items. That is ID is there, class is there. What are they? What are this ID and class? They are called as attributes. What is this ID and class, guys? They are attributes. Okay. So this first paragraph is having how many attributes? ID attribute is there, class attribute is there. Okay. Here second paragraph is also having the ID attribute and class attribute. What? Why ID attribute? Why class attribute? I'll explain later. Okay. For now, don't worry. So these tags may have this HTML element tags. Okay, may have some attributes, and here we can call this paragraph as a this starting tag, ending tag, and along with the text and attributes, we can call that as a HTML element. Okay, this is one HTML element like this. Okay, this is nothing but the HTML element, guys. So here another paragraph having the starting, ending, and some text and attributes is known as again HTML element. Everything is an HTML element, guys. Simple terms. Okay, fine. So guys, hope you got some idea what is okay. So by looking at this HTML source code, which has been created by the developer to create this web page, you got some idea what is HTML and all. Now what we can do is let's create our own. Okay, let's create one sample HTML page. Okay, so how to create that? I'll open this Notepad++, guys. Okay, so okay, no, I'll just say file new, and here guys in the new file of this Notepad++, if you don't have this software, you can download it, guys. It's very simple, lightweight software and very useful. I can say simply if you want to download that Notepad++, simply say download Notepad++. That's it. Okay, and you'll get this link. So you'll get this icon. Okay, so you can download the latest version. 8.2 is the latest version. You can download from here. You'll get a exe file downloaded here. So if you install with the basic instructions, if you install that exe file with the basic instructions, you can download. Okay, so that's what, guys. Notepad++ is very simple software, lightweight, and it is very helpful, guys. Okay, so here in the Notepad++, I'll create a new file after you have downloaded and install. You can even practice this one, guys, on your own. Then, just create a new file, and here I'll start with HTML. And generally any web page, if you want to create, I want to create a web page, right? I want to create a web page. When you want to create a web page, guys, the root tag should be HTML tag, and the ending tag should be the last tag should be the again /HTML. Okay, this is the closing tag. Now inside that, what are the two children tags? Head and body. So let's create the head here, and let's create the body here. Okay, /body here. That's it. Head and body are created. Okay, we created the head and body of this HTML page. Now inside the head, I'll not give anything for now. I'll not give anything for now. I'll simply file, save as. I'll go to this download location. Okay, so because it's kind of clean for me, I'll create a new folder, some HTML demo, I'll say, some folder name. Just inside that folder, I'll save this Notepad++ file, guys. So how to save this Notepad++ file as a HTML file? So for that, guys, I have to give some name here. For example, I'll say what name I can give. Okay, so HTML1. Okay, HTML1 demo file. Okay, and I'll say .html. Okay, I'll give the extension as either .html or htm is fine. Okay, .html or htm. So I'm giving .html, guys, and this is the name of the file, and this is the extension of the file, html. Save as type, you just save it as all types. Okay, when you give the extension here, you should change this to all types and click on save, guys. In this folder of the downloads, that HTML file will be saved. Okay, you see this file got saved at that location where I mentioned. You see, this is the place where downloads HTML demo and HTML1 demo file.html. Okay, so now let's go to the location where the file got saved. So in my machine, in the downloads location, in this folder, I created this. This is HTML file, guys. This is how it got. By default, it is being recognized as open with Chrome browser. You can open with any. Okay, this HTML file you can open with any browsers. That's okay. Okay, so you can change the default opening, choose another app too. The icon will change here. That's okay. So So let's open with the Chrome browser only. Okay, open with Chrome, I will say. In the Chrome browser, this HTML file got opened. Do you see anything on this HTML page, right? This is completely blank. And what is the title that is being displayed? You see the HTML file is loaded here on the browser. Okay, the browser can understand the HTML code. This proves that, okay, when you open the HTML file with the browser means who can understand the HTML code? The browsers will understand, any browser. It can be Chrome browser or Firefox browser, okay, or it can be IE browser, Edge browser, Safari browser. All the browsers understand the HTML code, guys. Okay, we can open the HTML files using the browsers. Fine, that's one thing. You see here is the location of the HTML file, and this browser is getting this HTML file in from my machine under the downloads folder. Under this the HTML file, it's opening. But when the browser is loading this HTML file, what is the title that is by default being displayed? If you clearly observe, this is not the actual title, right? It's giving the name of the file and extension as a title. You see, HTML1 demo file.html is being displayed as a title by default. If you don't specify the title, the file name and extension will be displayed as a title. So instead, if you want to give a proper title, guys, here in between the head tags, just give title here, title tag here, slash title, okay, and the title tag here. And in between that, whatever the text you type, that will become the title of the page. Let's say I'll say locators demo by, okay, Arun Motori, my name, okay. Locators demo or HTML demo, otherwise HTML demo by Arun Motori. I'll give the title. Okay, save this file, guys. Simply save this file and just reload this page, reload this, refresh this file. You see now, can you see the title here? Now it's not being displayed as the name of the file and extension of the file is not coming. Instead, whatever the text I provided in the title tags got displayed here. HTML demo by Arun Motori got displayed here, but still the page is blank. The title came up, but page is blank. Now in this page, guys, okay, let's create some paragraph. Okay, so p tag I'll give. So I'll give p tag and I can write the paragraph. So what if I don't give p tag? Okay, so what if I don't give p tag and I'll write something like this? Okay, my name is Arun Motori. Okay, I have around 12 plus, okay, years of IT experience, okay, in software testing field, and okay, and 8 years of experience into software testing training field. Okay, like this I have written one more thing, and I love, okay, teaching and content creation on software testing topics. I love creating content and teaching on software testing topics. Okay, I'm the, okay, so I can say fine, this is fine, guys. Okay, this much is enough. Okay, this much is enough, I feel. Okay, let's not write more than this. Now simply save this, guys. Now you see the text will not be displayed as it is. You see here, my name is Arun Motori is on the first line, and I have around 12 plus years of IT experience in software testing field and 8 years of experience in the software testing training field. This will continue here, guys. This space will not be considered. This new line will not be considered by HTML. If I refresh the page, you will understand all the things will be displayed as a single line. You see, my name is Arun Motori. I have 12. You see, everything got displayed in a single line, guys. That's a problem. Okay, that's a problem, guys. So that's why we have to use some tags here. Okay, so if you want to make this really move to the new line, we have to add some tags like br slash like this. Okay, and all those stuff. Some tags, or else you can put this into a paragraph. Okay, just put this as a paragraph, p slash p, and just see what happens now. If I put this text into the paragraph tags, then save this and refresh here. You see, the first one came in the first line and remaining all are in the single line. Again, I want this to be another paragraph. So again, I'll say p, and here I'll add the slash pa. Okay, slash p, and here I'll say p and slash p. Here I'm not going to explain HTML in detail, guys. Okay, no need to learn HTML at this point. No need to learn a detailed HTML. Okay, when time comes, I'll explain other concepts of HTML. But now let's only understand what is required for us to go to the next step. Okay, so I don't want to cover entire HTML and explain and waste your time now. Okay, simple. Whatever that is required for our examples and all, I'll explain. Okay, so now refresh here. You see, now the things got displayed in a proper way, right? So like this, guys, there are different tags. Okay, so and here I can give some attributes and all, guys. Okay, I can give some attributes and all, but I don't want to go deep. Okay, I can give some ID attributes. Why I have to give the ID attribute, guys? Okay, if I say P1, okay, ID is called P1. Why? You see, there are three paragraph tags. If a developer want to uniquely identify a paragraph, okay, out of these three paragraphs, if the developer want to uniquely identify a paragraph, then he will generally mention the ID attribute and he'll give the unique value for that ID attribute. Okay, you see, other paragraph doesn't have this P1, right? Only the first paragraph is having the P1. For example, here second paragraph, if I say ID is equal to, I'll not give P1, I'll give P2, guys. Okay, so unique identification. If you want to uniquely identify a UI element or HTML web element from the remaining elements, then developers will provide this ID attribute. That is the purpose of the ID attributes. I'll explain more about different attributes, okay, in the coming in this session itself, in the coming sections. So here I can give P3 if I want. Okay, everywhere each and every paragraph is having a unique ID attribute value. Okay, the reason here is if a developer want to uniquely identify a paragraph, then he has to give the ID attribute like this. Okay, so these are like there are different attributes available, guys. Okay, a lot of this is only one attribute I'm explaining here, just to give the sample I'm giving, that this ID and all these things will not be displayed on the web page. You see, if you refresh the page, there is no difference here. Okay, they will be internally done, and developers will be using these ID attributes to uniquely identify the elements on the HTML code. Okay, elements in the different elements in the HTML code. That's the purpose of the ID. We'll understand slow by slow, guys. More things. Fine, guys. So you got some idea about some HTML structure, how to create HTML to create the web pages, right? How to give the title and how to create the paragraphs and display on the web pages. Like that, you understood. Okay, basic structure of HTML, title, paragraphs, and attributes. You understood now. Now let's move to the another web page, guys. Okay, let's not explore more this particular web page, basic web page. It's done already. So let's move to another application, guys, where I'm not going to create a web page, but rather we are going to investigate some elements. Okay, so on the web page that I'm going to take you, there are a lot of elements, guys. Okay, there are a lot of elements available. I created this web page omaya.blogspot.com, which has different type of UI elements that can be created on the web page. So let me type that here, omaya.blogspot.com. So this blog web page has a lot of elements. If you see, guys, so you see different type of elements are there. There's an image here, there's a text box field here, there is a text area field here, there's search button here, there are radio buttons here, there are different, there are alerts here. Okay, there are checkbox fields here, there are read only, which cannot change the text. Okay, you cannot type the text into this read only text box fields, and a lot of stuff are there. There are hyperlinks, different type of hyperlinks are there, radio buttons, checkbox fields, and okay, a lot of things are created on this web page, guys. There are drop down fields here, right? There is a multi selection box field here, there is a table here, there is a HTML form, there is a login form. Okay, many things are on this web page. Okay, there are menus, menu options, page headings, and many things are there. Okay, each and everything that I am explaining now is nothing but a UI element on the web pages. So my point here is, instead of creating the web pages, let's try to view the code of these UI elements one by one and understand which tags are being used for them in the HTML code. Okay, for example, guys, there is a image, right? Can you see the image here? This was my image long back. Anyhow, so this is an image, guys. Okay, so there's an image here, and so how the I have actually created this web page. Anyhow, I have created this web page. So how did I create this image? How did I display this image on this web page? I've written some HTML code, right? Without writing the HTML code, this image will not come. So if I right click and select inspect option here, okay, on this web page, on this particular element, image element, if I right click on this image and select inspect option, so here in the Chrome browser, you will get this Chrome DevTools you will get. Okay, Google Chrome DevTools you will get. Basically, you will get these options by default on the right side like this. Okay, when you for the first time when you right click here and select inspect, right, this kind of Google Chrome DevTools options with this HTML code and all will come on the right side. But I don't like watching that in the right side, because you see you have to scroll here and there. Okay, so instead of overcoming that problem, to overcome that problem, I'll click on these three dots and select this dock to the bottom. Okay, just simple select dock to the bottom, guys. So this one is a kind of favorite of mine. I will be using this Chrome DevTools in the bottom. Okay, Now right click on this image and select inspect option. So when I right click on this image and select inspect option, out of this entire HTML code of this page, guys. Okay, you see from top to bottom, I'm scrolling here. This is starting point and this is the ending point. Okay, this is the entire HTML code of this page. And when I right click inspect on this image, you see only this code is getting highlighted. That means this is the HTML code written by me to create this or display this image on this web page. Let's investigate this HTML code of this particular image. You see when I hover the mouse on this HTML code on the UI, only that image is getting highlighted. That means this is HTML code written for displaying that image on this web page. And what is the tag name, guys? If you want to display or create some images and on the web pages, you have to use a tag name known as img tag. And what are the attributes? You see it has a different attribute. src attribute is there, right? src attribute is there. So it has some image. Okay, this is actually image location. Okay, if I copy this URL from here and paste it here, you see the actual image is there on the web like this. This is the actual image, guys. Okay, so this URL I'm passing to the src attributes, and here there are some more things like two more attributes are there: height and width. Okay, height and width attributes are there. So this height and width define the height and width of this. For example, I want to double the size. Instead of 200 px, I want to change it to 400. You see 400 height. Now I want to uh, also double this width also. Instead of 150, I'll make it 300 and press enter. Now the bigger sized image has come, right? Which is having 400 px height and 300 px width has come. Just refresh this page, guys. These changes are temporary. Okay, they will not be stored. Okay, so because anyone can change, that is a problem, right? So these are just temporary changes, guys. Okay, I can use it for debugging purpose like this. I can use this Chrome DevTools for debugging the HTML elements like this using their HTML code. Fine, but you just understand the different elements have different tags and different attributes. Okay, for their requirements and all. So and also see, guys, here img tag is starting tag. Where is ending tag then? Where is the ending tag of img? It's not there. That means not all tags in HTML have the ending tag. Okay, not all the tags in HTML have the ending tags. So for every tag was having the ending tag, right? HTML tag has the ending tag, head tag has the ending tag, body tag has the ending tag, right? Title tag has the ending tag, paragraph tags have the ending tags, but img tag doesn't have the ending tag. Okay, this is a self-closing tag. What is this img? Self-closing tag. There are few other self-closing tags, guys, which start at the same place and end at the same place. For example, br slash is one self-closing tag. Okay, either you can write br or br slash, both are fine. Okay, these are self-closing tags, guys. So br means break, it will take you to the new line. And there is something like hr or hr slash also you can use. hr or hr slash, anything you can use. Okay, this hr or hr slash is a horizontal ruler. Okay, which is also a self-closing tag. Not all tags in HTML have the ending tag. They can start and close there itself. Okay, so fine, like that many things are there, guys. Okay, let's keep on going. img is a one self-closing tag. Now let's explore one more. You see there is a text box field, right? Let's inspect this HTML code of the text box field. Inspect this. You see it has input tag. Okay, this text box field has an input tag where important attribute we have is a type, guys. Okay, for this text box field there's a type is text is there. That's why it is a text box field. What if I change that to radio? What if for this input, if I am changing the type from text to radio and press enter, what happened, guys? The text box field got converted to the radio button. Okay, so understood, guys, how the things got are getting changed. Input tag having the type as text is a text box field. Input tag having the type as radio button is a radio button. Okay, like the different elements are there, and there are many attributes. You see class attribute is there. I'll explain more about class. Name attribute is there. I'll explain more about name later. So different things are there, guys. Okay, so size size is 10, guys. Okay, size is 10 and many attributes are there here. This is a text box field. So similarly we have this text area field. You see what is the difference between text box field? Here only one line I can write. I cannot move to the new line, but here I can write multiple lines. You see multiple lines I can write. That's a text area field. So let me inspect the text area field. You see, this is the HTML code of the text area field. The tag that is being used is not input tag. It's instead a text area tag, and it has ID attribute. What is the purpose of the ID attribute? Uniquely identify the, if the developer of this page want to uniquely identify this text area field, then with the help of this ID, he will uniquely identify. Okay, it's a unique value given to this particular text area field. No other element on this page will have this ID. Okay, so fine. and rows are 10, columns are 80. Okay, some other attributes are there. Here rows are 10, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Columns is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and till 80. Okay, like that. What if I change this to 20? You see the size of this, the height of this text area field increase. You see the height of the text area field got increased. What if I change the width also? For example, here I'll make it 180. You see this much width, it's even overlapping with other elements on this page. Okay, so let's refresh this, guys. So it changes, these are temporary changes anyhow, no need to worry. So that is a text area field, guys, and we have the search button here. Inspect the search button. So search button is having the input type, but type is submit, guys. Okay, for this particular button type is submit, so that's why it is a button. If I change it to text, it will become a text box field. You see, it became a text box field. If I change it to radio, it will become the radio button. Okay, if I change again to submit, it will become a button now. You see, it became a button. And you see value. There is some text displayed on this button, right? The text is there in the value attribute of this HTML. Okay, the search is there. For example, if I want to change the label of this button, I'll say search Arun. Okay, search Arun and press enter. You see what is the label text of this button? Search Arun. So that's the purpose of this value attribute. Okay, like that, different things will be there, guys. So here we have the radio button. Refresh this if you want to clear the stuff. You see, again it's back. Inspect this radio button. Inspect this, and we have for radio buttons also input tag is there, but type is what? Type is radio, guys. Okay, type is radio. ID is also there for uniquely identifying this radio button from other elements on this page, and value mail is there. That's okay. So that's a different thing. So here, the thing here is you need to understand one thing, guys. There are how many radio buttons are there? Two radio buttons. Okay, there are two radio buttons. If this name attribute is not there, what will happen? I'll show you. Okay, I'll remove this name gender, and another radio button, that is female radio button, is also having the same name gender. I'll remove them and press enter. Now you see, can I select both options, right? That is the thing. You see, if these two radio buttons doesn't have the same, okay, same attribute, that is name attribute is not there, then I'm able to select the two radio buttons. But that should not be the behavior, right? That should not be the behavior. At a time only one radio button. You see, I refresh the page, now I'm able to select only one, because here to group these two radio buttons as a single unit, they have added the name attribute with value. Name gender is there for the male radio button, same name is equal to gender is also there for the female. That's why they are grouped together at a time only one radio button. This is one purpose of the name attribute, guys. Okay, this is one purpose of the name, one of the purposes of the name attribute. And another place where name attribute is used is this kind of applications, guys. So I'll take you to this application, and I'll take you to the register page, register account page. Here there is a form, guys. Okay, this is a form. This is a register account form is there. Many fields are there in this form, and in each and every element of this form, you see, whatever the details I enter and click on the continue button, right? These details will be sent to the server of this application to create the account. So when they are sent to the server account, server has to uniquely identify all these elements, right? That's why all the fields in this form will be given some name attribute. If you inspect this first name, you see there will be name is equal to first name is there. Okay, if I inspect this last name, you see name is equal to last name is there. Like that, each and every form element is given the some name. Like each and every person has a name, right? My name is Arun. Okay, your name is something like that. Okay, so like that, each and every element on this page is given a name attribute. Okay, like you are calling with that. But there are many Aruns in this world, right? I'm not the only one, right? So I'm only one of the Aruns having the name as Arun, but there can be multiple people having the same name Arun. Okay, so similar to that, but ID will be same, guys. Okay, you see my other ID is unique, right? No one in this world will have my unique other ID. Okay, other people will have other IDs. Okay, like that. ID is like other ID, whereas name is like name of the person. So you have to understand like that. So like that, guys. Each and every element on this page. Okay, each and every element on this page has some HTML code, and some tags are used, some attributes are used, and all those stuff. Okay. Here checkbox field. If I inspect this, okay, I'll not take more time, guys. I'm just highlighting the important stuff only. Still, input tag type is equal to checkbox will be there. Okay. Earlier for radio button type is equal to radio was there, but here the checkbox field is having the type as checkbox, and ID is there for uniquely identifying. And here this is what is checkbox. And let's move on. So for example, this is the read only text box field. You cannot modify the text, or you cannot type the text. Okay, I'm typing the text using the keyword, but nothing is getting typed. But how that is possible? Inspect this text read only text box field. Here there's an attribute mentioned as read only. Okay, without any value, there's an attribute mentioned as read only. If I remove this, guys, if I remove this, now I can type. I'm able to type, right? That's the problem. So refresh this. Okay, so So like that HTML has a lot of things guys, and here is a hyperlink. How the hyperlink is there? Inspect this hyperlink guys. Anchor tag, okay? To create the hyperlinks in HTML, we need the anchor tags, a tag. And this is very important guys, okay? For understanding the locators and all, these hyperlinks are very important. You see anchor tag is generally, a tag is generally used. Starting tag and ending a tag is there. And in between, the name of this hyperlink, that is compendium div, that is being displayed on the page is there, okay? The text of the hyperlink is there between the tags of the anchor starting and ending tags. And when you click on this hyperlink, where you will be taken? You'll be taken to this page, okay? This is the URL, okay? You'll be taken. So that is there in which attribute? href attribute. Href attribute. We have the URL that you should be taken when someone clicks on this hyperlink. You should be taken to this page, okay? If I click on this, you see you'll be taken to this basic web page. You see you are taken to the basic web page. Fine. So again, I'm coming back. So that is one important guys. Here each and everything is a hyperlink. They are created using the anchor tags. Now what next guys? Next a lot of things are covered already, and here table I'll explain. Inspect this guys. You see this is a table tag. Hover the mouse on this table tag. You see entire table is getting highlighted. So ID is there, border of the table. If I remove the border guys, if I set the border to 0, you see the table doesn't have any border, right? The table doesn't have any border. Again, if I give the 1 here, you see border is coming. If I want to increase the thickness of the border, I'll give 10 here. You see thicker border will come like that. Okay, that's what is a border attribute of table. And this head section, this is about, let me rephrase this, it will go to the previous state. You see this table has different rows and columns, so each and everything is a tag here, okay? So tr tags are there here, okay? So like that, each and every row tr tags, under that data is there, td tags are there. So no need to worry guys, I'll explain more about tables later. Just at a high level you understand now, that's enough. And here there are drop down field, right? There is a drop down field. You can select only one option at a time in this drop down field. Inspect this. It will have the select tag. Okay. In HTML, it will have the which tag? Select tag. To create the drop down fields, in HTML, we have to use the select tag. And yeah, these are the different options, guys. Option tags are there. So each and every option in this drop down field is created using the option tag. Okay. This is a select tag and it's ending here. And similarly, we have this multi selection box field, which is also related similar to the drop down field, but here we can select multiple options by selecting control key and selecting the options. You see I can select multiple options. So inspect this guys, inspect this. It also is created using the same select tag. Multi selection box is also created using the same select tag, but there is an attribute known as multiple. If you provide this multiple to this drop down field, it will also become the multi selection box field. Okay, so this attribute that is making it different, and option tags are same. Then what else is left guys? Okay, a lot of things I covered already. So this much of knowledge is enough, I feel. Okay, this much of knowledge is enough. There is one more thing guys, regarding the class attribute I have to explain. So if I take you to this application guys, if I take you to this application, where exactly, one of the purpose I'll tell you where class attribute is actually used in the HTML elements. For example, you see all these things, right? All this my account, wish list, shopping cart, checkout, they look similar, right? The color is similar. When you see, when you hold the mouse, they're getting highlighted in the similar fashion, right? So that means there is some similarity here. That means they have the same class name. Inspect this my account. Inspect this my account guys. You see my account has some class name. This is the class. Remember this class, hidden hyphen xs, hidden hyphen sm, hidden hyphen md, right? Similarly, if you inspect this wish list also, again here wish list, but same class is there, hidden xs, hidden sm, hidden md. Again shopping cart also will have the same class, hidden xs, hidden sm. You see this is how the page is designed, right? So with the help of the class name, they are applying some styling. Okay, with the help of this class attribute values, they are applying some styling to these elements. That's why they look similar. And one more example I'll give. For example, if you go to the register page, there is a button like continue button. Inspect this continue button guys. The button color is in which color? The background of this color is button is blue color, right? So for that, to get this kind of styling applied, they are using some class. Okay, and you see button btn primary is there. Okay, some style css styles are there here. I'll not go out of topic for now, so I'll explain more about css later when time comes. Okay, so this is a class attribute value. Wherever you provide this button primary, right? Copy this for now, and there you will get the button color, change it to blue color guys. Okay, for example, if I this one is not in blue color, right? inspect this button. This button has another class main. I'll remove that. I'll provide the class value of that login button or register button. Okay, you see what happened? The color of the button got changed to blue color. You see, styling got changed. Right here, similarly, we have this black color. Inspect that. It has another class. It will be having another class. So you see, this is a class actually. I'll remove that and provide the class of that register button. You see, it also got changed to blue color. So that's why, guys, if you see, if you go to the login page, here we have the continue button and login button. They look similar. Why? Because both will have the same class. Inspect this continue button. Here you see class is BTN primary. Okay. Here inspect this login button. It also will have the same class BTN primary. That's why they are similar. So hope guys you understood what is why class attribute value is generally used. Okay, to apply the CSS stylings and change the colors and look and feel of the elements on the pages, we have to use the C class attribute values. Okay, like that each and every attribute in HTML have a purpose. Like ID has uniqueness purpose, name has grouping purpose. In forms, name can be used for uniquely identifying the elements again by the server. Okay, and like naming purpose kind of name attribute, and class is generally used for applying the stylings for most of the cases, right? So like the different attributes are there, and yeah, those are the things. So hope guys this much is enough. Okay, so this much of HTML knowledge is enough. I'm if required I'll explain more HTML in the coming sessions, but this much of knowledge is too much enough, guys. Okay, so for understanding the different locator types and all, this much is enough. Now you can understand all these locator types, right? You see, ID attribute was there in HTML, ID locator is there similarly, right? Name attribute was there in HTML, name locator is there, and class attribute is there. For that class name locator is there. Hyperlinks were there, and there was some text between the hyperlinks, right? If you investigated the hyperlink, when we investigated the hyperlink here, one of the hyperlink compendium dev, inspect this. You see starting anchor tag, ending, and in between that there is some text, right? This text is nothing but can be used for creating the link text locator, guys. Okay, text between the anchor tags of the hyperlink can be used for creating the link text locator. Then CSS selector and XPath expressions I'll explain. Don't worry. So this much of HTML basic knowledge is enough for understanding the locators for now. Okay, so when here I'm only covering the basics of locators, guys. I'm not covering the locators in depth. Okay, and maybe when the time comes in the upcoming sessions I'll cover. Okay, I'll cover this locators in depth. I'll cover. Okay, for now let's understand the locators at a basic level at whatever the required we want at this moment. Okay, let's not go too deep. So when I have fine anyhow. Okay, so I'll explain about locators in a detailed manner in the when the time comes anyhow. Fine guys, next one is I am now going to practically demonstrate this different type of locators. Okay, I told you in the beginning of the session, right? Locators help Selenium in finding the elements on the web page. How they will help, that I'm going to practically show you now. With the help of different locators, how Selenium can find these UI elements on the web pages, I'm going to practically show you. Fine. So first one is what, guys? ID locator. Okay, so I'll be entering the text into one of the text area field. For example, guys, if you go to this web page, omai.blogspot.com, you see on the top there is a text area field. So by default, is there any text here? By default, is there any text here? But I want to type my name into the text area field. Using Selenium, I want to type. Okay, using Selenium, I want to type my name into the text area field. How to do that? Here, guys, I'll open the Eclipse ID. Okay, which I have shown you in the previous session also, right? So there is a sample Selenium project, and here there is sample Java file, class file, and inside that main method is there. If you don't know Java and all, don't worry, guys. Just understand it is a locator point of view. Okay. So there is some sample automation code already written, which I will be explaining in detail in the upcoming sessions anyhow. Okay. For now, don't worry. So guys, at a high level, if I have to make you understand this code, right? So this is a Java file. Inside the Java file, there are some Selenium code is there. This Selenium code, this line when executed, it will open what? It will open Chrome browser. Okay, it will open the Chrome browser, and the second line that is written here using Selenium. This is Selenium code, guys, which will maximize the browser, guys. Okay, by default, the Chrome browser will not be opened in the maximize mode, but here this line, with the help of this line, will maximize browser. Okay, will maximize the browser, and the third line, so it will open the browser, but no application page will be loaded. Here we'll load the application page. Here I'll remove this URL, and in place of this URL in this line, I'll be giving this application URL. Okay, so that Once it opens the Chrome browser, once it maximizes the Chrome browser, it will open this URL in the application. Okay, it will open the URL in the this particular application URL in the browser that is opened and maximized here. So it will open this application URL in the browser. Okay, it will open this application URL in the browser. After opening the application URL in the browser, what I wanted to do, I want to enter the text into the text area field. My name I want to enter into the text area field. But can Selenium do it by itself? Can Selenium can find this or see this particular text area field? No guys, Selenium is by default blind. It cannot do anything. Okay, with the help of locators only, Selenium can find the elements. So what is the locator for this text area field then? Okay, we need to create the locator for this text area field and give that locator the Selenium automation code so that Selenium can find this text area field. But how to get this locator? If you right click on this text area field and select inspect option, the HTML code of this text area field, you see this is the HTML code of the text area field, it's highlighting the text area field, is getting highlighted. Now, if you see this text area, this HTML code of the text area field has some attribute known as ID. ID means for unique, right? We can uniquely identify this text area field. So what I will do is, whatever the value that is there in this ID attribute of this text area field, I'll copy this value, guys. Okay, I'll copy this value of the ID attribute of this element and go to the Selenium automation code. Here I'll write some statement in Selenium. You don't have to understand this statement, guys. At a high level, you understand. Later, I'll explain in the sessions what are the statements and all. Okay. Driver dot find element I'm writing. So Selenium is having a command known as, okay. Selenium is having command known as find element. So this command need to be provided with what? The locator. Here we have to specify the in place of this null, we have to pass the locator. Without this locator, Selenium cannot find the required element on the web page. Okay. So to give the locator here, we have to say by dot id, type of the locator we have to mention by dot id, and in that we have to provide the locator. Okay, so here what is the locator, guys? ta1 is a locator. Copy this locator value and paste it here and say simply say dot send keys. Okay, don't worry about all these commands, guys. So till here we are finding the element. Okay, we are helping Selenium with the help of this locator, with the help of this id locator. We are helping Selenium in finding the text area field. On the text area field, what has to be done? We have to type, we have to type my name, right? So in order to type, there is a command known as send keys command, which will type the given text into the fields. Okay, so here whatever I provide in the double quotes will be typed into this field. Okay, so here I'll type my text, my name Arun Moturi. I'll type. Now guys, here to this Selenium code, to this Selenium automation code, we are passing the locator, id locator, and with the help of this id locator, Selenium will find that text area field. Because Selenium is blind by default, with the help of this ta1, that is id attribute value of this element, it will find this text area field. After that, I'm asking Selenium to type my name into the text area field. Okay, so this much is done. Now run this code, guys. I'll run this code. You don't have to do this right now, guys. Just understand in the locator point of view. So how we are using the id locator, okay, for locating the elements on the web page. That is the context of the session. You see, you'll open the page, and in the text area field, okay, after the application page is loaded, you see in the text area field, my name got typed by Selenium. How Selenium was able to find this text area field? With the help of this id locator, it was able to find, and there it typed my name. Understood, guys, what is id locator and how Selenium has used the id locator for locating the required element on the web page? Similarly, there are other locators. Okay, there are other locators like name locator is there, guys. Okay, there is one more locator like name locator. I'll show you the name locator now. Fine. So here, guys, on the same web page, if you see there is a text box field here, I want to type my name, say Arun, into this text box field. Inspect this text box field. This is the HTML code of this text box field. But this HTML code, does it have the ID attribute anywhere? Anywhere can you see the ID attribute for this text box field? No, right? ID attribute is not there. But what is there? What other attributes? Autocomplete, class, name, size, title, type. But name attribute is there. Even though ID attribute is not there for this text box field, name attribute is there. I'll copy the value of this name attribute to create the name locator. With the value of this name attribute value of this text box field, I'll create the name locator, and that name locator will help Selenium in finding this text box field. Okay, so I'll write the same command, guys. How Selenium, which command of Selenium is required to find the element? Find element is the command. Okay, and what is the locator I have to use? By dot Type of the locator is name locator. And here I need to pass the locator value, that is name locator value for this name locator for this text box field. So here I'll give double quotes and paste this value, guys. Okay, this name attribute value of that text box field, I am pasting it here. And simply what I want to do, I want to type. So for that, I'll use a send keys command of Selenium, and inside that in double quotes, I'll whatever the text you want to type into the text box field, I'll write it here. For example, I want to type my first name, Arun. Okay, now run this code, run the Selenium automation code. It will type my name into the text box field. Okay, it will type my name into the text box field. You see, after the page got loaded, you see it has typed my first name into the text box field. So this is what is, guys. Here we have used name locator for locating the, for helping Selenium in locating the required element. Fine, that is also done. Now let's move to the next one. Okay, that is class name. Okay, class name. So I'll explain this. Okay, so what I will do here is I want to click on this drop down. Okay, I want to click on this drop down. When I click on this drop down, after some time, you'll get this three options. Okay, observe this again, guys. I want to click on this drop down. Using Selenium, I want to click on this drop down. After a while, you'll get this. If the button is really clicked, you will get this Facebook, Flipkart, and Gmail options here. Okay, let's automate that. So, but we need to help Selenium in finding this button and clicking on this button, right? So I'll inspect this button, guys. I'll inspect this button. When I inspect this button, okay, here you see this is the HTML code of this button, and there is no ID attribute or there is no name attribute. You see only two attributes are there, on click and class. But I can use this class attribute value. Okay, I can use this class attribute value, and using this class attribute value, I can create the class name locator. Okay, so with the help of the class name locator, I will help Selenium in finding this drop down button. So let's do it. So come here, guys, and say driver dot find element. The type of the locator we have to give is the class name. Okay, when you say by dot class name is the locator. So here we need to provide the locator value. What is the locator value of the class attribute value here? That is nothing but the drop button. Okay, so paste the drop button here and simply say what is the action I have to do on this button. What is the action I have to do on this button? I need to click on the button. For that, Selenium is providing a command known as click command. Okay, here your focus should be there on this locator, guys, class name locator. Okay, we are providing this class name locator to Selenium to click on the button. Okay, to click on the button. Run this, right click, run as Java application. First, we have used ID locator for helping Selenium in finding a text area field. Second, we have used the name locator for helping Selenium to find the text box field and typing some text. Now we are using the class name locator to help Selenium in finding the button. You see, the button got clicked and we got the options. Class locator is also done. Similarly, other locator we'll try. Okay, now we'll go through the other locators. So next locator is link text locator. Okay, link text locator, which is only possible for hyperlinks, guys. For example, here if you go to this application page, if you see some hyperlinks here, you see compendium name hyperlink. I want to click on this hyperlink, guys. I'll inspect this hyperlink, and this is HTML code. Selenium need to find this hyperlink to click it, but we need to provide the Selenium the locator of this hyperlink so that Selenium can find this element and perform the actions like click and all whatever it is. Okay, so but if you see the HTML code of this hyperlink, compendium dev hyperlink, it has anchor tags and it has only one attribute, that is href. There is no ID attribute, there is no name attribute, there is no class name attribute. But the thing is, you see, the starting anchor tag is there, ending anchor tag is there. In between the tags, there is some text, right? In between the starting anchor tag and ending anchor tag, there is some text. This text between the anchor tags of the hyperlink can be used as a locator known as the fourth type of locator, that is a link text locator. We can use that as. Okay, so I'm copying the text between the anchor tags of that particular hyperlink, and to find that hyperlink, I'll create the locator driver dot find element by dot. To help Selenium in finding that hyperlink, I'll create the locator known as link text locator. Here I need to provide the text between the tags. Okay, text between the tags of the anchor tag, and what is the action the Selenium want to perform? Click action. Okay, I'll give the click here. Now here, which locator type we have used? We have used link text locator. So Selenium with the help of the link text locator will locate that hyperlink and it will click on the hyperlink. So let's wait for that to happen. We'll open the application URL first, and after that it will click on the hyperlink. It will be very fast, guys. You see it is clicked on the, and you are taken to this compendium dev page because the hyperlink for this web page has been clicked. Done. This is a link text locator. Fourth locator is also done. So that's why guys we have learned HTML basics. Okay, this is the purpose. If you want to understand the locators, you should have some basic HTML knowledge. That's why I have given so much of explanation about the HTML basics that are required for understanding this ID, name, class name, and link text locator. But there are two more locators, guys. Okay, CSS selector and XPath expressions. Okay, so when we have to use the CSS selectors and XPath expressions, I'll show you right now. Okay, next things are next one XPath expression. I'll show you first. After that, I'll show you CSS selector. Okay, fine. So guys, there is a button on this page. You see there is a button under the simple login page section of this omaya.blogspot.com website. There is a login button. If you click on this login button, what is happening? Without providing the username password, if I click on the login button, error password or username will come. Okay. So that's a functionality anyhow. But I want to do the same thing using Selenium. Okay. I want Selenium to click on this button, login button. So for that, I need to pass the locator of this login button to Selenium, right? So to provide the locator of this login button to Selenium, I'll inspect on this login button and I got this HTML code for this login button. Okay. When I inspect this login button, I got the HTML code of this login button. And if I see clearly, there is no ID attribute. You see, type attribute is there, on click is there, value is there, but there is no ID attribute or name attribute or class name attribute. And also, this is not a hyperlink also. So none of these locators are possible now, right? To create the locator for this login button, ID locator is not possible because that particular element doesn't have ID attribute in the HTML code, and name locator is not possible because this particular login button doesn't have name attribute in the HTML code of the button, and class name is not possible because this particular button doesn't have class attribute and its value for this login button, and also link text is also not possible because this is a button, it's not a hyperlink, so link text is also not possible. Then what is the solution? If none of these four locators are possible, what is the solution? We have to go for either CSS selectors or XPath expressions. That's the only solution. But how to create the XPath expression or CSS selector for this login button? First, I'll show the XPath expression, guys. When you inspect this login button, so this is HTML code that is getting highlighted in the Google Chrome DevTools. Right click on this HTML code that got highlighted for this login button. Right click like this and say copy. Select copy, guys, and in the right click copy option, you'll get an option known as copy XPath. Can you see the option copy XPath? Copy that. And in the new tab, I will paste it. You see, this is the XPath that got created from this login button. Okay. So this is the XPath, guys. I don't have to do anything. Just right click on the HTML code, say copy and copy XPath option. Okay. Copy XPath. Now, if you type somewhere here, you see, this is the XPath expression. Okay. This is the XPath expression. Now, this one can be used as a XPath locator, XPath expression locator. Okay, this XPath expression can be supplied to the Selenium so that Selenium can find that login button. Okay, let's do that. Here, I'll say driver dot find element by dot, I'll say XPath. Okay, and here I'll give double quotes, and inside the double quotes, whatever the XPath expression I have generated for that login button, I'll paste it here and simply say dot click. That's it. Okay, simply say dot click. Now run this code. So this XPath expression will be used by Selenium to find this login button. Okay, find this login button, and after that it will click on the button. Okay, so run this, Selenium will click on the button. Here we are using the XPath expression. Okay, here we are using the XPath expression. So as you can see here, it is loading the application. Now you see it has clicked on the login button. That's why we got error password or username, right? XPath expression is working. Similarly, guys, similarly, instead of XPath expression, you can also use CSS selector. How to generate the CSS selector for that? Again, right click and right click on this login button, inspect this, and this is the HTML code of this login button. Again, right click on this HTML code for that login button and select copy and select copy selector. Okay, copy selector. Now here, this is the CSS selector. You see, this is the XPath expression. This is a CSS selector for the login button. Copy this CSS selector, and now I'll be using this as a CSS selector locator. And this CSS selector locator is going to help Selenium in by.css selector. Here I have to paste it, guys. Okay, paste this CSS selector. Copy this and paste it here. And at the end, simply say dot click. Okay, dot click. Done. Now run this code. With the help of this CSS selector, Selenium will find that login button and it will perform the click operation. Run this. So this is how guys locators will help Selenium in okay finding the required elements on the web pages. And this is the purpose. Okay, this is the purpose. You see, it has clicked. See, with the help of the CSS selector locator, okay, Selenium was able to find this login button and perform the operation, that is click operation, and we got this button clicked and we got this alert. Fine, guys. Hope everything is clear so far. I demonstrated all the locators for you in a practical way. Okay, but there is a situation where okay, there is a situation that will come where a particular UI elements will have lot of locator types. I'll show you one example. You see here, guys, there is a drop down field. You know, right? There is a drop down field here, right? This is a drop down field. Inspect this drop down field. Okay, inspect this drop down field, guys. When I inspect this drop down field, I want to click on this drop down field. Okay, I want to click on this drop down field. So for that, I inspected this drop down field. So using Selenium, I want to click on this drop down field. Okay, when I inspect this drop down field, this is HTML code came, and you see there is ID locator, right? ID locator is there for this drop down field. There is name locator available for this drop down field. There is class name locator available for the drop down field. You see multiple locators are there. Which one I have to use? Okay, if there are multiple locators for a single field, if there are multiple locators possible, I can create a ID locator for this drop down field. I can create a name locator for this drop down field. I can create a class name locator for this drop down field. If and even I can create, okay, I can create XPath expression and CSS selector locators also for this drop down field. If multiple locators are possible for locating, for helping Selenium in finding this element and performing operation, then which locator type I have to choose? That's where, guys, we have a topic known as locators priority. Okay, so out of all these locators, if multiple locators are possible for locating a single element, then which locator type I have to use it for Selenium automation? In Selenium automation, which locator I have to use it for Selenium automation? Okay, which locator I have to give it to Selenium so that it can find the element if multiple locators can do the job. In that case, guys, we have to, there is a priority of the locators. Okay, we have to follow. The first priority goes for ID. Okay, you see in this diagram, right? ID has a first priority. If ID is not there for the element, then you can choose name locator. If name locator is also not there for that element, then we have to choose a next priority locator, that is class name locator. If class name is not there, then go for link text. If link text is also not there, then go for CSS. If CSS is also not there, then go for XPath expression. Ignore about the DOM, guys. Okay, ignore about the DOM, that is not required. These are the locators, right? ID, name, class name, link text, CSS, and XPath expression. These 6 locators are enough. DOM no one uses in real world. Okay, DOM locator no one uses in the real world, so you don't have to even think about that. Fine. ID, name, class name, link text, CSS, and XPath expression. So first priority go for ID, second priority name, third priority for class name. In this example, guys, when I inspected this drop-down field, you see ID is there, name is there, class is there. So what I have to choose? Which one is of high priority, guys? Here, ID has a priority, right? ID has more priority. So I have to go with the ID locator. Okay, I have to use ID locator for this drop-down field. Out of different locators possible for this drop-down field, okay, I have to pass ID locator to the Selenium because according to the locator's priority, ID has a top priority, okay, over the remaining locators. So this is a priority chart. Based on that, you have to give. Now, one more thing, guys. Okay, one more thing. So here, there is some tool, guys. Okay, there is a one useful tool which we can use for generating the locators. Okay, there is one useful tool which we can use for generating the locators, and it will make our job easy. But I will say that don't depend on this tool completely. Okay, so whether this tool is there or not, you should be still ready with the locators, guys. Don't completely depend on this tool. The only purpose we are using this, we are going to use this tool, that is SelectorsHub tool for auto generating the XPath expressions and CS selectors and other locators, is to save your time. Okay, the only purpose is to, this tool is going to save your time. It doesn't mean that you should completely depend on this tool. Okay, I don't really recommend you to completely depend on this tool, and whatever the tool says you have to do, whatever the locator that this tool will give you, that locator you should not blindly use it, guys. Okay, or blindly depend on this tool. So by default, we should have the knowledge of these locators, and we should create our own locators, okay, including the CSS and XPath that I'll explain later, guys. Okay, when the time comes, I'll explain about the CSS and XPath expressions. how to create your own XPath and CSS expression. For example, I can show you one example here. For example, I want to locate this login button. Okay, I want to locate this login button. Inspect this login button, guys. By looking at this HTML code, I want to create a locator. I want to create the let's say I want to create XPath expression for this login button. Okay, so you cannot do this now, guys. I'll teach you later in the later sessions, right? I'll teach you how to do this. I'll say I'll select this HTML code of this login button and say Control F, and this text box will come here. Here I'll type some text, guys. Okay, before typing, I'll copy this value and I'll say /button. Okay, so this button is having the button tag, and I'll say at the rate value is attribute, and I'll give the value that is whatever the value I copied from that button HTML code and press enter. You see, this is an XPath expression. I'm able to create my own XPath expression, right? Did I use any tool, or did I right click and say copy and copy XPath like this? Nothing I have said, right? I was able to create my own XPath expression, right? Because I have the knowledge how to create the XPath expressions by my own. I have the knowledge, guys. Okay, so that knowledge I'll share you later. Okay, when the time comes, I'll teach you how to create your own XPath expressions and CS selectors. But just to save time, okay, if you're already aware of this XPath expressions and CS selectors and how to create these locators, right? Just to save time, we'll be using this tool. But I don't really recommend you to completely depend on this tool. Okay, once you are good with these locators, then only start using this tool, guys. Okay, so you can start using now, but at some point of time, you have to learn how to create XPath expressions or CSS selectors and how to create this kind of locators by your own. Okay, instead of depending on the tool, at some point of time, you should have the knowledge of creating your own XPath expressions and CSS selectors and other locators. And anyhow, without any delay, I'll demonstrate this tool for you. Okay, I'll demonstrate this tool for you, and I'll show you how this tool will make your job easy. Okay, in case of locators, in case of creating the locators, how this tool will make your job easy, I'll show you. Fine. Okay. So thing is, let's say there's a okay, this page only we'll see. Before going to this page, guys, I'll just click on new tab in the Chrome browser itself. Just click on the new tab and search for this tool. Okay, in Google, search for the tool. That is search for Selectors Hub here. When you search for the Selectors Hub in the search results, you will get this link from okay, SelectorShub XPath plugin from chrome.google.com. There are many plugins available in the market, guys. Okay, for auto generating the locators and XPath expressions and CS selectors, there are many plugins or add-ons available in the market, but this one is the best one. Okay, this one is the best one, guys. So we'll be using this plugin only. Okay, we'll not go for other plugins that are there in the market. So SelectorShub XPath plugin is there, and it is coming from Google Chrome Web Store. Okay, click on this. It will take you to the Chrome Web Store of this SelectorShub XPath plugin. You see the ratings are very high, right? 1,197. Many people are using that. Okay, 70,000 plus users are there. So fine. So simply what you have to do to get this plugin installed in your browser. Okay, we'll be installing this plugin in the browser. So simply click on this Add to Chrome, Add extension. In a while, this extension will be added to your browser. Okay, let's wait. So it's adding to Chrome. You see, you'll get a notification like this saying XPath plugin, SelectorShub XPath plugin has been added to the Chrome. That's it, guys. The installation is done. Installation of adding this plugin is done to the browser. Just click on this extensions and you see SelectorShub XPath plugin is coming. Just click on the pin so that you can directly see it here, right? So now, guys, restart your browser once. Okay, just restart your browser. So fine, I'll just close this and restart my browser once. Fine, I restarted my browser. So it's better to once you install the SelectorShub plugin, right? Better to restart your browser. Okay. So history, Locator Basics. This is the page, right? Let me open this here so that we'll continue. So fine. Here, guys, I restarted this browser after installing this SelectorShub Chrome extension. So not only you can install this SelectorShub in Chrome browser, guys. If you go to the official website of SelectorShub, that is selectorshub.com. Okay, you can also go to the official website of the SelectorShub plugin, that is selectorshub.com. You see there are on the home page, right? You see several buttons are there. That means if you want to install on the Chrome, this button you have to click. If you want to install this SelectorShub on Safari browser, You have to click on this. Okay, if you want to install in Firefox, Edge, Opera, Brave, Chromium, Tor, many browsers are it is supporting, guys. Okay, but for now I showed you the installation process for installing it on Chrome. You can try the other browsers on your own. Fine, guys. Anyhow, let's open the application. So let's say I want to, okay, let's say I want to auto generate the locators for this newsletter. Okay, since I have already installed the this SelectorsHub, I want to auto generate the locators. Okay, to save my time, I don't want to right click in, right, investigate the HTML code and get the locator and think by myself. Just to save, I'm in a hurry. Okay, while I'm doing the automation, I was in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. Let's assume in that case, I want to use this tool for auto generating the locators. So right click on this drop down field for which I want to generate the locators and select inspect option again. Okay, select inspect option, guys. After you have installed this plugin, when you right click on this any UI element and select inspect option, here by default under elements tag you will get this HTML code, but this is not the area that you have to see. So there are some subtags here, right? Styles, computed layouts. Can you see when elements tab is selected on the right side, you see some subtabs, the Chrome Dev Tools, that is styles, computed layout, DOM properties, DOM breakpoints and properties are there. And after that, there is some arrow here, right? Just click on that, guys. You see the selector sub here. This is one way, or you can drag this here. Okay, like this you can drag, and you will find it. Okay, if it is like hidden like this, click on this and then select selector sub. Okay, then you got this selector sub, guys. Then you got the selector sub here. So this functionality will only come. The selector sub functionality will only come when you install this selector sub Chrome add-on or extension in this browser. Okay, fine. Close this. So guys, so what are the different locators it generated for us? You see for this drop-down field, if I inspect this drop-down field, it has generated the different locators. You see it's got highlighted also in orange color. Selector sub is also in orange color. So whatever the highlightations happened in orange color means selector sub is locating that. So what are the locators possible here? Let's close this. Only few locators it's showing, guys. I have to scroll down like this. Okay. If you want to see the complete list, I have to scroll like this. If you don't want to scroll here, there's one option, guys. The option is this one, guys. Okay, click to expand. Okay, selectors. Just if you select this, you see you don't have to scroll also. Okay, so whatever the element you select here, all the possible locators for locating this. Okay, all the possible locators for Selenium locating this element are displayed here. You see ID locator is there. Okay, ID locator. This using this ID locator, only this element is getting located. One means only this element is located on this page. Then name locator is also possible. Then class name locator is possible. Only 111. Okay, 111 elements are possible. Then what is there, guys? Link text is not there. Link text is not possible for this element. Then XPath expression, you see CSS selector. Then say CSS selector, relative CSS selector we have to use. These are relative select. I can copy this, guys. Okay, I can copy this. You see this is using this copy option. I can copy. Okay, this is locator. And you see relative XPath is also there. This is the relative XPath. So this SelectorShub is auto generating the different possible locators for this drop down field. Okay, now I want to do one thing. So we will go with another option like which one, this text area field. Okay, let's inspect this text area field. Inspect this. The moment you inspect this, you see it got highlighted. You see it has ID locator and different possible locators are shown. Copy this ID locator, guys. Copy this ID locator. Go to the Selenium automation code here. Say simply say driver dot find element by dot ID, because you copied the which locator. I copied the ID, right? Copied and paste that here. You see the ID attribute value got pasted here. Dot send keys, and I will type Arun. This is what is selector sub, guys. It will auto generate the locators. You see, you don't have to investigate the HTML code and pick the locators. All the possible locators for the required element will be located. Okay, will be auto generated by the selector sub. Okay, that's what is the use of the extension or add-on. And but again and again I'm saying is don't depend on this kind of tools, because these tools will be there today but tomorrow it may not be there. Okay, so better try to create your own locators, but when you are in a hurry you can use this kind of tools, guys. You see it has located and my name got typed into the text area field, working fine. So don't depend too much on the tools, guys. You should be on your own, but if you are good with the locators and you can generate your own locators by looking at the HTML code or writing the XPath expressions and CS selectors on your own, then you can start depending just to save your time, because you can judge whatever the locators that this tool is giving are they correct or not. You can judge also because you have the knowledge of the different locators. So fine, guys. With this note, I think we are good. Okay, we are good with the locators topic. This much is enough, guys, to go to the next session. And as I already mentioned, I need to explain how to create XPath expressions on your own and how to create CSS selectors on your own, right? So these are very big topics, guys. I will not be covering now because the next session doesn't require the knowledge of these topics of how to create them on your own. So when the time comes, I'll explain you how to create XPath expressions and CSS selectors on your own, okay? Rather than simply depending on the SelectorsHub kind of tools, okay? That are many tools are there in the market, guys. SelectorsHub is best one, I can say. So that's all about this session, guys. See you in the next video session. Thank you. Bye.